Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something you've probably seen popping up all over your feeds. It's this, increasingly common world of kind of suspicious online boutiques. We're going to use a specific example.
Okay.
Chloe and Grace Savannah.
Yeah, so this whole deep dive kicked off because of one of those super aggressive online ads. You know the type, the ones that create instant panic. This one was screaming, "Last chance! Chloe and Grace closing down sale! Everything half off!" It just makes you feel that urgency, like, wow, I could score a designer deal here.
And that is exactly the hook, isn't it? Our sources suggest that, okay, sure, some closing sales are legit, but sites that use this level of pressure, they're often, well, one researcher called it weapons-grade nonsense. So our mission for you, listening right now, is to really dig into the source data on this particular store. We want to help you understand how to spot these aggressive fakes almost instantly. Okay, let's do that. Let's unpack this facade. Because on the surface, yeah, the site looks pretty premium. Slick visuals, descriptions promising, timeless feminine fashion designed with care and attention to detail. And those prices, especially with the sale, look almost too good to be true. They really do look the part.
But yeah, appearances can be really deceiving here. This is where the technical side, the sort of trust indicators, start screaming danger. We found things like weak traffic metrics, low overall trust scores from, third-party review sites. But honestly, forget the traffic for a second. The killer piece of evidence, it's the birth certificate. This supposed closing down sale is happening on a website domain that was registered just, get this, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's not really a closing store, is it? That's more like a pop-up tent pretending to be a liquidation event.
Okay, wait a second, though. If the domain is only weeks old, couldn't a genuine, brand new startup trying to raise some quick capital with a clearance sale? Wouldn't that look exactly the same? How do we tell that apart from this weapons-grade nonsense that sources mention?
That's a really good question, because you're right. Intent does matter. A legitimate startup, even one having a sale, would likely want transparency. They'd be shouting their name from the rooftops. But in this case, Chloe and Grace Savannah, the ownership is completely masked using privacy services. Translation: the people actually running this store are deliberately hiding who they are. Their names, addresses, registration details gone. That's the first thing a real business usually wants you to see to build trust. So when you combine that super fresh domain with totally hidden ownership, yeah, the risk profile just skyrockets.
Wow. Okay, so the front might look slick, but underneath, it sounds like it's built on, cardboard and masking tape, metaphorically speaking. And the feedback from actual people, the real-world experiences, seem to confirm those technical suspicions, right? We saw this one reviewer in Trustpilot, clearly absolutely furious, she said. "Annoyed total fraud. I fell for their fake backstory. What I received is not what was pictured, no quality." Ouch. And that customer experience is just backing up the technical red flags we saw. The general feeling on forums discussing similar sites is pretty blunt, basically. Stay away from those closing our business ads. It's cheap, fake crap.
Exactly. And this brings us to the broader pattern here. The sources point out Chloe and Grace isn't really unique. It's just the latest name, the latest avatar for this kind of operation. A key thing they do is use stock images. This is critical. When we did a reverse image search on those perfect photos from the Chloe and Grace site, we found they don't belong to them at all. They're all over the place. It's kind of like finding a picture of a supermodel on a dating app profile. Looks amazing, but it's definitely not the person you're going to meet. And that whole closing sale narrative, it's identified as one of two sort of classic dodgy behaviors. Either it's a true exit scam, where they just take your money and vanish, never ship anything, or, maybe more commonly, it's drop ship bait behavior.
Drop ship bait.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that actually mean for the shopper, in practical terms?
Right. It means they hook you with those premium photos, take your money based on that image, then they turn around and ship the absolute cheapest possible product they can find from some third-party seller, often internationally. It looks nothing like the ad. And then they basically rely on the fact that it's going to be a huge hassle, maybe impossible, for you to return to internationally. So they keep your cash, that immense pressure, that buy now feeling.
Yeah.
It's not about a legitimate deal. It's purely a tactic. It's, as the source said, urgency being weaponized against you, the consumer.
So putting it all together, the site structure, the hidden ownership, that brand new domain, the really aggressive discount messaging, it all just points towards a super high-risk online store. One where basically quality, sizing, customer service, returns everything is fundamentally unreliable.
Yeah, the final verdict from our sources seems pretty clear-cut. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, what the heck, I'll gamble $20 just to see, well, go ahead, maybe. But you should mentally write that money off the second you click buy. Don't expect quality, definitely don't expect reliable returns, and absolutely do not expect the perfect item you saw in that shiny ad.
That's exactly right. So before you click buy on any similar limited time offer boutique, especially if it feels kind of new and the discounts seem almost too good, just pause for a second. Ask yourself two really critical questions, building on what we've discussed from the sources here. One, if I actually receive an item, is the workmanship going to be worth even this discounted price I'm paying? And maybe even more importantly, too, will I realistically be able to return it easily if it's completely wrong or just junk? Buyer beware. Definitely buyer beware.